Yo, imagine for a second what it's like to build something truly special, not just a house, but like a skyscraper.
Okay.
And at the very core of that, you've got this one singular, unshakable foundation. In sports, well, that's your cornerstone.
Right. The main piece.
Exactly. That's the player who defines your franchise, the talent you'd literally put a statue up for, someone whose loyalty isn't just, a contract clause, but feels like it's etched into the very soul of the city they play for.
Yeah, deep connection.
You wouldn't just, think about trading them. It would feel impossible. Like, it would shatter something fundamental, something you didn't even know could break.
And then, one ordinary night, the impossible just happens. That gut punch you feel when your phone buzzes with a digital alert, then 1,000 more.
Oh, man.
That collective gasp that rolls across an entire city. Because what just happened feels like a personal betrayal.
Yeah.
A piece of your identity ripped away. It goes way beyond the box score. This isn't just sports anymore. This is something far deeper. It's about the unspoken agreements we make, the stories we tell ourselves, and what happens when those are brutally, unexpectedly interrupted.
You got it. And that's precisely what we're about to unpack today. This deep dive is all about one of the most unexpected and honestly seismic shifts in recent sports history. The Dallas Mavericks trade of generational superstar Luka Dončić
To the Lakers.
to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis. This wasn't some quiet off-season negotiation that slowly built up. Nah, this was a mid-season NBA earthquake that hit hard on February 1st and 2nd, 2025. It shook everything.
Our mission today is to peel back every single layer of that earthquake. We're not just going to explore how such an unprecedented deal came to be, but more importantly, the real human impact it had.
Yeah, the real stuff.
We'll dissect the corporate justifications that, frankly, utterly fell flat. We'll dive into the raw, unfiltered anger of an entire fan base and really look at the lasting emotional scars left behind when the cold, hard logic of business collides head-on with deep-seated loyalty.
We've gathered a serious stack of source material for this one. Everything from the breaking news reports that made everyone's jaw drop to the raw, visceral fan reactions caught in the moment, and even some candid insider comments. Our goal is to get to the absolute heart of what this trade truly means, far, far beyond just player stats and game outcomes. It's about what happens when the lines between a game you love and real life get completely blurred. So let's get into it.
Okay, let's do it.
So if we're talking seismic shifts, this one began with what many people are still calling the midnight betrayal. You know that feeling when your phone buzzes late at night and you just know it's not good news?
Ugh, yeah, that pit in your stomach.
Right. Well, for countless NBA fans, especially in Dallas, it was precisely that. The calendar flipped to Saturday, February 1st, 2025, and at exactly 11:15 p.m. EST, phones lit up across the country.
Late night shocker.
The news broke from ESPN's Shams Charania, a reporter who lives and breathes breaking news. But here's the wildest part, and this tells you everything about the magnitude of this. Even he had to double-check. He had to confirm he wasn't hacked.
No way. He thought he was hacked.
Yeah, because the sheer unfathomable disbelief of what he was reporting was just off the charts. It was that shocking.
Wow. That says it all, really. And it wasn't just shocking because of who the players involved were. It was the historical significance that really sent ripples through the league.
Oh, for sure.
This wasn't just a minor tweak to a roster or a team trying to dump an expiring contract. This was the first time in NBA history that two reigning All-NBA team players were traded for each other mid-season.
Mid-season.
Yeah. For anyone unfamiliar, an All-NBA team selection means you're consistently recognized as one of the top 15 players across the entire league, period.
The best of the best.
To have two of those players in their prime swapped mid-season, it's an event so rare, so impactful, it completely reshapes how we even think about player movement in professional sports.
Yeah.
It wasn't a ripple. It was a bona fide tidal wave.
Yeah, a paradigm shift. You could feel it.
Definitely.
Right. And the biggest reason it was so shocking, the absolute core of it, was because Luka Dončić was, by every measure, untouchable.
Completely.
This guy was only 25 years old. He'd already made 5 All-NBA first teams, meaning he was consistently recognized as one of the top 5 players in the entire league year after year.
5 times by 25.
Yeah.
Unreal.
He had just led the Mavericks to the 2024 NBA Finals. He was the undisputed, capital C's cornerstone of the franchise. Everyone knew it. Everyone said it. He was Dallas basketball.
Who was the Mavs?
And what's more, when he was directly asked if he didn't intend to sign a long-term contract with Dallas, he publicly stated absolutely not. He meant it like, of course he was staying.
Yeah, he was signaling commitment.
His loyalty felt undeniable, at least from his side. It felt like a deep, personal commitment to the city and the team.
It truly was. And what's particularly fascinating here, from a business and league standpoint, is to really consider the sheer audacity of this decision. How does a front office even begin to consider trading a player of this caliber?
Right, at his age.
At his age, with his accolades and that very public commitment to staying, it reveals an almost desperate architecture of influence at play, one that completely disregarded all conventional wisdom about franchise building.
It's like they threw the rule book out.
It's almost as if they looked at the standard playbook for managing a superstar and decided strategically to burn it. They gambled against everything we thought we knew about building a successful franchise around a singular generational talent.
It makes you wonder what was really going on behind the scenes.
It speaks volumes about the perceived internal pressures they must have been operating under, whether real or imagined.
And from the outside looking in, it didn't just feel like a gamble. It felt like a betrayal. From the fan perspective, the immediate emotional and psychological impact was profound.
Oh, devastating.
You had people, full-grown adults, saying it felt like a void that was ripped away from them. This wasn't just a business transaction that swapped assets. This was a devastating rupture of trust.
Yeah.
A deep sense of identity being torn from them violently. This wasn't a casual breakup. This was like finding out your long-term partner eloped with someone else overnight without telling you.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
That feeling of being robbed of a future you genuinely believed in, a story you thought you were a part of.
That's precisely why the reaction was so visceral. It wasn't merely disappointment. It was a collective mourning. The city of Dallas almost immediately transformed into a funeral for a franchise player.
A funeral?
Seriously.
Yeah.
We heard about fans like Jake Reedy, a 27-year-old, who at 1:22 a.m. went home, ordered supplies, and duct taped protest signs outside the American Airlines Center.
Wow. 1:22 a.m.
He declared, quite definitively, R.I.P. Mavs, T.O.D., 11:23 p.m., February 1st, 2025, symbolically placing one beneath the Dirk Nowitzki statue.
Under the Dirk statue. Ouch.
Right. Other fans, just in their raw grief, threw their jerseys to the ground, publicly renouncing their fandom. It was a widespread, spontaneous, and very public display of grief that unfolded in real time.
I mean, that's just, it's wild, a faux funeral. And the next day, February 2nd, you had this truly somber gathering outside the arena, complete with a Mavericks-themed casket.
A casket. Oh, my God.
Yeah. And the agonizing irony of it all right there, etched into the base of Dirk Nowitzki's statue were the words, "Loyalty never fades away."
Oh, come on. That's brutal.
In that moment, it just screamed hypocrisy. It was like the city's implicit promise to itself, embodied in their greatest player, was being openly mocked by its own team. It felt almost sacrilegious.
Sacrilegious is a good word for it. And that inscription truly became a painful symbol of shattered expectations. For years, Dallas fans had wholeheartedly embraced the passing the torch narrative, seeing Luka as the direct successor to Dirk's legacy.
That was the whole story, right? Dirk to Luka?
Exactly. They genuinely believed the Mavs fan for life slogan wasn't just for them, the fans, but applied just as profoundly to the star players, too. The team had even gone so far as to fill a passing the torch commemorative coin.
They sold a coin. Seriously. Oh, that makes it worse.
Right. This trade didn't just break a narrative. For many, it felt like the last vestiges of childhood innocence had been erased. We heard from fans like Chris Ebbison, who then had the almost impossible task of explaining the business of sports to his bewildered kids.
Oh, man, explaining that to kids. Rough.
Imagine trying to make sense of that profound betrayal for a 6-year-old who just saw their hero vanish overnight. It's not just a game at that point. It's a foundational disruption to their understanding of loyalty and what they can trust.
So when we talk about this, what we're really witnessing is the complete breaking of a brand promise. Think about it. The implicit contract between a team and its fan base is built on loyalty, on legacy, on a shared future, on a common identity. When that contract is shattered, how does a franchise even begin to rebuild its brand, its identity, and reconnect with its market? The economic ramifications are huge, obviously, but it's more than just money.
Oh, I know.
It's like they deliberately blew up their own corporate headquarters and then stood there scratching their heads, wondering why everyone was mad. You burned the bridge. Then you wondered why no one wanted to cross it.
Yeah, it truly is an organizational self-inflicted wound,
Yeah.
and a glaring example of how short-sighted decisions can have devastating long-term consequences on fan engagement.
That's a really powerful point. And on the psychological side, this goes so much deeper than just casual fandom. This penetrates into the psychological bond between fans and their heroes.
It's personal for people.
It's not just about cheering for a jersey or a logo. It's about shared dreams. It's about collective identity and that profound feeling of being robbed of being a part of that story and that journey. The profound grief experienced by adults. The painful conversations parents had to have with their children about the harsh realities of professional sports. It's a form of collective trauma.
Yeah, that's fair. For many, sports offers a safe space for emotional investment, a parasocial relationship where you feel connected to these larger-than-life figures. When that relationship is abruptly severed by a business decision, it's not just a game.
No.
It's about seeing your collective heart broken right there on the court by the very entity you poured your hopes and identity into.
So after the immediate shock, the Mavericks organization had to try and control the narrative, right? This is where it gets really interesting, because their justifications for the trade almost immediately started to unravel under even the slightest scrutiny.
Oh yeah, it was like watching a house of cards crumble in slow motion.
Yeah.
The shifting official story, the attempts to dissect the rationale, felt flimsy from the start.
Weak sauce.
Mavericks general manager Nico Harrison's initial defense was, and I quote, "I believe that defense wins championships, and that acquiring Anthony Davis, an all-defensive center and an all-NBA player with a defensive mindset, gave them a better chance to win now and in the future."
Okay, hold on. Defense wins championships. That's like the oldest line in the book, right? A classic, but sometimes a classic lie.
The go-to excuse.
Because what's truly wild here is that the data directly contradicted that rationale almost immediately. Dallas actually had a better defensive rating with Dončić than the Lakers had with Davis this very season.
Wait, really? Better with Luka.
Yeah. For those unfamiliar, defensive rating essentially measures how many points a team allows per 100 possessions. So a lower number signifies a stronger, more efficient defense.
Okay.
And last year, when the Mavs made the championship round, they had the league's 13th best defense after the All-Star break, while the Lakers with Davis were 23rd in the same time frame.
Wow. So the numbers just don't support it at all.
Not even close. So given that data, what does it truly signify about the organization's understanding of their own team or even their audience when they put forward such an easily refutable defense? Was it arrogance, desperation, or just what?
That's a great question, because when a public statement is so easily disproven by readily available facts, it immediately raises questions about transparency and integrity.
Right, like, do they think we're stupid?
It suggests either a profound lack of awareness within the organization about their own team's statistics, or, more likely, a deliberate attempt at narrative control that fundamentally underestimated the intelligence and emotional investment of their fan base.
Okay, the second one sounds more likely.
It felt less like a strategic defense and more like a flimsy PR spin, trying to deflect from what many suspected were other unspoken reasons for the trade.
Like the money.
Perhaps they believed they needed a different type of player, or perhaps it was tied to the immense financial considerations of Luka's Supermax contract, a massive, long-term deal that would deeply impact their salary cap for years to come.
There it is.
By blaming defense, they deflected from the difficult, honest conversation about those perceived financial or strategic pressures.
And if that wasn't enough, Team Governor Patrick Dumont, in his first public comments, delivered what many immediately interpreted as a thinly veiled shot at Dončić.
Oh, the passive-aggressive stuff. Love that.
He spoke of NBA greats like Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Kobe Bryant, and Shaquille O'Neal, emphasizing their singular focus to win and hard work.
And the implication is Luka didn't have that.
Exactly. This was widely seen as a passive-aggressive criticism of Dončić's work ethic and conditioning, conveniently fueled by anonymous leaks about his weight and those very salary concerns we just mentioned.
Leaks.
It's a classic move. Assassinate the character of the departing star to justify an unpopular business decision to make him the problem, not their choice.
And the irony there is just so glaring, isn't it? You're talking about work ethic and conditioning, and you mentioned Shaq.
Right. Shaq. The guy who famously mailed it in sometimes during the regular season.
Shaq, who famously admitted to not always training in the offseason and often reported to camp out of shape. And then there's Dončić, the guy with the second highest playoff scoring average in NBA
So
history,
it's highest ever.
who once matched a 64-win team's scoring total in a Game 7, half by himself. It's almost comical how they cherry-picked a random list of legends and hoped no one would notice the hypocrisy.
Or the actual facts about Luka's undeniable on-court performance.
Exactly. From a psychological perspective, this character assassination on a player's way out is deeply wounding. Not just for the player's reputation, but even more so for the fan base.
Yeah, it feels slamey.
These anonymous leaks and subtle public comments, even if not directly stating names, can deeply wound a fan base's perception of both the player they loved and the team they supported, creating further resentment and distrust.
It makes everything worse.
It's a particularly insidious kind of pain when they try to rewrite the story of someone you believed in, to make him the problem for their decision.
The fan anger, it just simmered, then it boiled over, far beyond the arena. This wasn't just about booing or angry tweets. It translated into concrete actions that hit the organization where it hurt.
Like hitting their wallets.
Exactly. Thousands reportedly canceled their subscriptions to the team's streaming service. The anger spilled right into the business office. This wasn't just noise. This was an organized consumer protest.
Yeah, a financial hit for the organization. They were voting with their wallets. And it wasn't just individual fans. Local businesses quickly joined the fray, turning their own outrage into incredibly clever marketing opportunities.
That furniture store thing was genius.
They almost became proxies for the deep-seated fan sentiment, giving it a public, visible platform. Dallas-based Home Zone Furniture, a $60 million brand, ran a series of commercials during a Lakers game.
During a Lakers game. Perfect.
In a brilliant twist, they traded away a fan-favorite sofa, mimicking the real-life fan protests with customers holding placards and chanting slogans outside their headquarters.
That's amazing. So meta.
It was sharp, it was witty, and it absolutely hit hard, resonating deeply with the alienated fan base.
That's just brilliant marketing right there. It shows you how deeply this resonated. And then Celestial Beer Works, a Dallas brewery, took it even further.
The beer. I heard about this.
They created a Sell the Team Double Hazy IPA released on February 21st, named, of course, after Dončić's jersey number 77.
7.7% ABV.
Yep, brewed to be 7.7% ABV, aptly described by co-owner Molly Reynolds as something to drown fan sorrows and absorb salty tears.
Drown sorrows and absorb salty tears. Love it.
Lifelong fan Hunter Ostick expressed a very deep pain in feeling betrayed. That's not just a beer, that's a liquid commiseration.
Totally. That's a product designed almost therapeutically to help you process trauma. It truly is. It's a testament to the profound psychological need for fans to hold on to and celebrate their connection to a beloved player, even when the team has made a corporate decision to move on.
Yeah, the team moves on, but the fans don't have to.
Exactly. The misery loves company aspect of collective grieving is powerful, where fans find solace and validation in shared anger or sadness, and the emotional defiance in maintaining a public tribute despite the team's actions. It's a way for fans to reclaim their narrative.
To say, we decide who our heroes are, not you.
Precisely. It's a very human response to a perceived injustice, finding solidarity in shared pain.
And the Mavericks organization, meanwhile, was doing everything they possibly could to erase a legend. They made swift, almost surgical efforts to remove Dončić's image from the city.
Like he never existed.
A large image at Love Field Airport, gone. A banner at American Airlines Center, removed. Dončić gear vanished from team stores, even being sold at a discount.
Oof. Discounted Luka gear, that's cold.
The pregame highlight video, which used to feature him prominently, now had few to no images of him. It was a concerted effort to scrub him from existence, like he was a bad memory, a stain they wanted to remove from their brand.
Yet the enduring grassroots resistance to this erasure vividly highlights the inherent limitations of corporate control over culture and memory.
You can't just delete history.
You can take down banners, you can remove merchandise, but you simply cannot erase the deep, authentic connection fans form with players who become a part of the city's identity.
The mural stayed up, right?
2 Dončić murals remain vibrant in Deep Ellum, including his iconic NBA 2K22 video game cover and a striking superhero mural at St. Pete's Dancing Marlin.
Superhero Luka.
Nice. And the owner, Pete Sotos, adamantly vows to keep it, saying he's always going to be a Maverick to me.
Good for him.
And the Chop Sports Victory Park Bar introduced a Long Live Luka shot, symbolically priced at $7.77, a direct nod to his jersey number. These aren't just tributes.
No, they're acts of defiance.
They're powerful acts of collective memory, a clear statement that the true narrative isn't dictated by press releases or even by team stores. It's etched in the streets and in the hearts of the people. It's a quiet but firm defiance against corporate erasure.
It's the organic truth winning out over the manufactured narrative. That's what it is. It's powerful. But speaking of the organization's handling, it was, in the words of respected PR professional Stephen Rafe, atrocious.
Atrocious, wow. You don't often hear PR pros use words like that publicly about a major team.
That's how bad it was.
And his assessment was spot on. It was a catastrophic failure of crisis communication and public relations on multiple levels. The trade itself was finalized in the middle of the night, creating an immediate sense of secrecy and evasion.
Shady timing.
The post-trade news conference was vague and light on articulated rationale, lacking any specific details that could assuage frustration.
Does corporate speak?
There was no genuine attempt to explain why or how this was the right move, beyond those hollow platitudes about defense. This created a void, and in a vacuum, speculation and anger will always rush in to fill it.
And boy, did it ever.
It showcased a deep misunderstanding of how to communicate in a crisis, how to be transparent with a deeply invested community.
And it wasn't just external PR blunders. There was clear internal discord that just leaked everywhere.
Oh, the inside drama.
Key figures like former controlling owner Mark Cuban and even Dirk Nowitzki were reportedly not aligned on messaging, with some not told about the trade until very late in the process, or not at all.
They didn't tell Dirk. Or Cuban wasn't fully looped in. That's nuts.
Imagine that. Mark Cuban even tried to convince Harrison not to make the trade. Cuban, the guy who essentially was the Mavericks for decades.
The face of the franchise, yeah.
Joking to Bill Gates that he'd have to hide from the press if his successor made a similar move. When your own former owner, the man who built the empire, is trying to stop it and then joking about hiding, you know you've completely messed up.
It's pure chaos in the C-suite. A massive red flag signaling a dysfunctional decision-making process.
For sure.
The bureaucracy and red tape that must have been in place to keep such a monumental decision hidden from key stakeholders speaks volumes about a team in crisis mode.
And that internal chaos, that profound disconnect, sadly spilled onto the court, directly impacting the fans. The Mavericks began censoring their own fans at home games.
Censoring fans?
Yeah, how? Actively avoiding showing them on the Jumbotron if they seemed critical. We heard about a specific instance where a fan during karaoke was finally shown mouthing "Fire Nico," referring to GM Nico Harrison.
Uh-oh.
And the camera quickly zoomed out, and the fan was then ejected.
Ejected for mouthing something?
Wow.
Seriously?
Other fans were ejected for simply holding "Fire Nico" signs and chanting, with one even claiming he was physically pushed by security.
Wow. That's not a good look. That's a further erosion of trust, a direct silencing of dissent, which only serves to amplify anger.
Makes people angrier.
When an organization attempts to censor its own supporters, it sends a chilling message that loyalty is only valued when it's unquestioning obedience.
And the Mark Cuban situation was just peak absurdity, wasn't it? This guy who cultivated this image of being the ultimate fan-friendly owner.
Mr. Courtside, yeah.
Field shut the F up and sit the F down at protesting fans.
He actually said that. To fans.
Loudly. Like, can you even imagine? Then, in a truly bizarre attempt at damage control, he later offered courtside tickets to one ejected fan, Garrett Bussey, who owned 7 Dončić jerseys.
7 jerseys. Wow. So yell at him, kick him out, then give him tickets.
That's a tiny gesture of remorse, with Bussey believing Cuban felt bad for the way I was treated. It's like, first you scream at your customer, you physically remove them, and then you offer them a free meal as an apology.
Yeah, it's messy, it's confusing, and it just shows how completely out of touch, how utterly bewildered they were by the force of this fan reaction. It demonstrates a profound misunderstanding of the depth of fan investment.
Totally. And the fallout wasn't just public embarrassment or financial protests. It became serious, with real-world safety implications.
No.
GM Nico Harrison reportedly received death threats.
Ugh, that's awful. Absolutely unacceptable. But it just goes to show the dangerous extreme to which this intense, almost spiritual investment from fans can escalate when they feel profoundly betrayed.
It's scary.
The NBA's head of security, Leon Newsom, was reportedly present at Dončić's return game due to explicit safety concerns. This underscores just how deeply this perceived betrayal resonated, transcending the boundaries of sports.
Needed extra security. Wow.
Rick Welts, the Mavericks CEO, admitted he probably underestimated the reaction and that the fallout was different than anything he'd seen in 47 years in the NBA.
Underestimated, you think?
Right, and to cap it all off, an internal town hall with employees who were on the front lines hearing fan complaints was reportedly met with eye rolls when management expressed empathy.
Eye rolls from management while employees are dealing with angry fans.
Eye rolls, that level of internal disconnect, that perceived insincerity from leadership, speaks volumes about the morale hit within the organization itself.
Unbelievable.
And the continuing disconnect with fans is just painful to watch. Their Valentine's Day post on X featuring heart-shaped boxes with player faces.
Let me guess.
The vast majority of over 500 replies tagged Dončić instead.
Of course they did. They just fundamentally don't get it.
Nope.
The irony here is, for all that drama, what actually happened on the court immediately after the trade? Anthony Davis had a monster debut for the Mavs against the Houston Rockets.
Okay, so AD balled out right away.
We're talking 26 points, 16 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 blocks in just over 30 minutes. This included a record-breaking 18 total blocks for the team that night.
18 blocks as a team. Wow.
He was even introduced to a standing ovation, a really complex moment for fans, I imagine.
Yeah, that's right. Even in their collective grief and anger, fans can still appreciate sheer talent. But then, the immediate, almost predictable setback,
Here it comes.
which everyone in NBA circles knew was a major risk with Davis. Despite that strong start, he exited in the third quarter with an adductor strain, expected to miss weeks.
Of course, is injury history.
Yeah. It was a key concern in NBA circles even before the trade, a widely known factor that made this particular acquisition even more of a gamble.
It's the cruelest irony. You make a massive, deeply unpopular gamble for a player with a known injury history.
And boom, injured immediately.
And then your new cornerstone gets sidelined almost immediately. It almost felt like a curse.
And then the ultimate twist of the knife. After 2 immediate losses right after the trade, Dallas actually went 3-1 in its next 4 games.
They started winning.
Scoring upset wins over the Boston Celtics, Houston Rockets, and Golden State Warriors, often, and this is key, without Davis playing.
Winning without the guy they traded Luka for.
Oh, man.
This highlights the team's existing talent and depth, but it also really underscores the what if of the trade's primary acquisition being injured. It makes you question the necessity of the trade even more.
Right. Like, maybe they didn't need to blow it all up.
The wins don't necessarily erase the emotional wound for fans. Like Kyrie Irving, Dončić's former teammate, wisely put it. To see the emotions come out like that over basketball, that just shows you that basketball is not just a game to certain people.
It's a spiritual experience.
It's a connector piece, and they watch their favorite players, and they want to see them forever. The scoreboard might look good, the team might win, but the heart of the city, the collective spirit, is still aching.
That's a great quote from Kyrie, and that led directly into what quickly became known as the Luka trade curse narrative, gaining significant traction.
The curse is real, or feels real.
Beyond AD's injury, other key players like Kyrie Irving, who suffered an ACL injury, and even younger talents like Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford also faced injuries.
The injury bug hit hard.
While you can't control the random nature of injuries, in the context of such a monumental and controversial trade, they created a powerful perception that the trade itself somehow brought bad luck or fundamentally destabilized the team.
Yeah, it's almost superstitious, but when you trade away a generational talent, everything bad that happens afterward feels connected, like a direct consequence.
Exactly.
And if the AD situation wasn't enough, the Quentin Grimes debacle just compounded the perception of complete misjudgment by the front office.
Oh, the Grimes trade. What were they thinking?
Just 2 days after dealing Dončić on February 4th, the Mavs made another, seemingly smaller trade. They sent Quentin Grimes and a 2025 second-round pick to the Philadelphia 76ers for Caleb Martin.
Okay, Grimes for Martin and a pick. Seems minor, but...
This second trade, though smaller in scale, magnified the misjudgment of their own roster, their own talent assessment. Because what happened next?
Oh, yeah. Magnified it. It was a disastrous move. Grimes almost immediately exploded with the Sixers.
Exploded.
He averaged an incredible 29 points over 9 games in March, including a career-high 46 points and 5 career 30-plus point games, all coming in a Sixers uniform.
46 points from the guy they just traded for Caleb Martin.
Meanwhile, in stark contrast, Caleb Martin averaged only 5 points in 5 games with the Mavs and also dealt with injuries.
Ouch. Just ouch.
This isn't just about a bad trade. It's a compounding error in roster management and scouting that leaves you scratching your head. It's like they not only got rid of their best player, but then traded away another promising young talent for pennies on the dollar,
Only to watch him blow up immediately.
only to see him immediately thrive elsewhere. It strongly reinforces the perception that the front office is losing the plot, making decisions that actively make the team worse, even if they claim it's about fit or system.
Yeah, that fit argument gets old fast when the guy you traded is dropping 40.
It truly feels like they doubled down on a bad bet and then rolled snake eyes.
It's a continuous, agonizing reminder for fans. It's watching what could have been slip away right before their eyes. The psychological toll on fans watching a player they just traded suddenly thrive elsewhere
Scoring career highs.
is immense. It adds insult to injury, deepening that initial sense of regret and frustration. This isn't just about the numbers, it's about seeing the tangible proof that the decision makers might not fully understand the true value of the assets they're moving.
And by extension, maybe not understanding the aspirations of the fan base either. Yet, even with all the official efforts to remove Dončić's image, the enduring presence of Luka in Dallas is just undeniable.
Can't erase him that easily.
His impact remains profound, resonating far beyond the official team narrative. You could take down a banner at the airport, but you simply cannot erase the memories, the moments, or the art that becomes interwoven with the city's identity.
That cereal box art sounds cool.
We've seen Jenny Grumble's new art installation featuring Dončić, creatively made of cereal boxes, a truly unique homage, and Pete Zotos, the owner of St. Pete's Dancing Marlin, still proudly displays his superhero Dončić mural,
Still standing strong.
adamantly vowing to keep it, saying he's always going to be a Maverick to me. This once again highlights the inherent limitations of corporate control over culture and memory.
Right. The real narrative isn't dictated by press releases or team stores.
It's etched in the streets and in the hearts of the people. A quiet but powerful act of collective memory saying, we decide who our heroes are, not you.
And the fans, they are actively creating their own tributes, too. That Chop Sports Victory Park bar still has its Long Live Luka shot, right?
Yep, symbolically priced at $7.77, a direct nod to his jersey number.
It's a small detail, but it speaks volumes about how fans hold on to their heroes. They'll find ways to celebrate and remember, to keep that connection alive, even if the team tries to pretend it never happened.
It's about reclaiming a piece of their identity that they felt was taken away. All of this unresolved emotion, all this defiance, is building to one highly anticipated, potentially explosive moment. Luka Dončić's return to Dallas as a Laker on April 9th.
Oh, that game. That's going to be intense.
This is the ultimate flashpoint for fans, for the franchise, and for Dončić himself, promising either a semblance of closure or, more likely, renewed outrage.
Yeah, I don't see much middle ground there.
Very little room for anything in between.
Oh, that night is going to be absolutely electric. Fans are predicting absolute brimstone fire and a cauldron of insanity.
Brimstone fire.
Wow. There's a widespread belief that Lakers fans will try to take over the arena, but even diehard Mavs fans will still go for Luka despite everything.
Yeah, that's the conflict, right?
Mm.
Still love the player, hate the situation.
It's going to be this strange emotional collision of loyalty, anger, and bittersweet pride. And get this. The Mavericks organization has reportedly started planning a Dončić tribute for the game.
A tribute after all this. Talk about walking a delicate tightrope.
Seriously. They have to honor him, they know that, but they also know the anger is still raw, simmering, and waiting to erupt.
It's a real-time test of the team's ability to manage its public image and acknowledge the deep currents of fan sentiment, where the business of sports will meet raw, unfiltered emotion head-on.
It could go sideways fast.
And if the team is planning a tribute, fans are planning their own counter-moves, their own form of expression. Jake Reedy, the same guy who put up those protest signs on day one,
He's back.
has an ambitious plan to sell enough Fire Nico Clown Nose shirts to pay for 10,000 to give away.
10,000 clown noses. Oh, my God.
Hoping to pack the stadium like a playoff game on April 9th, holding Nico Harrison directly responsible. Other fans have proposed running 77 laps around the American Airlines Center, another symbolic gesture.
77 laps. That's dedication.
It's not just going to be a game night. It's going to be a communal reckoning, the collective moment for fans to express their unresolved feelings and potentially find some collective catharsis, even if the situation remains messy.
Yeah, messy and without a neat resolution. It's an assertion of fan power, showing that their voices, their feelings still matter.
Absolutely.
This deep dive into the Luka Dončić trade has been far, far more than just basketball stats and player movements, hasn't it?
Oh, way more.
It's laid bare the raw emotions, the complex, often opaque business maneuvers, and the unyielding loyalties that connect people to something bigger than themselves.
Mm.
It forces us to truly ask. In an increasingly transactional world of professional sports, where player agency is growing and ownership priorities are constantly shifting, what does loyalty truly mean?
What is it anymore?
Is it a two-way street, a one-sided devotion that fans pour out, or simply a fleeting ideal that corporations exploit? Can the profound, almost spiritual connection between a city and its star ever truly be severed?
Or does it just evolve into something new? Perhaps a simmering anger, a bittersweet memory, or even, strangely, a renewed unconditional love that transcends the team itself.
And for us, as fans and observers, how do we reconcile the cold logic of business with the fiery, almost irrational passion that fuels the game?
It's tough.
What does it say about us when we invest so much of ourselves, so much of our identity, only to see it seemingly torn apart by decisions made in a boardroom?
This story isn't just about a trade. It's about the emotional coding deeply embedded in fandom, the psychological rupture of betrayal, and the messy, beautiful, sometimes painful truth of how we grapple with things that are left unresolved in our lives.
This episode is powered by NeonKore Media for stories they said were too real to tell.